Hi ladies and gentlemen, Phil Brown. It's Thursday the 8th of November. Give or take, and I might have made a few mistakes, but roughly it's day 100 of separate posts. I do apologise, if it's kind of droned on and I've endlessly reinforced the semantic argument of saying we're fighting to keep the key core and essential services at South Tyneside Hospital. But that's the reality rubbing, that's the pull across the wet blanket that the Trust have thrown over us to say, oh, we're keeping the hospital open. No, they're not as we know it. You'll have the Ingham Wing as a building, but I still say you'll not have the heart of it, the key core and essential services. So ad nauseum, I'll keep on drilling away, keep on going right through to the court hearing next month in December. Not too long now. But if we lose the A&E department, which is an award-winning department, the children's A&E, I don't know how any parent really can sleep in their bed at night knowing that you're going to lose a prestige service going out from South Tyneside Hospital, which is an award-winning consultant-led service, and just let it go to Sunderland. Your turn will come to protest, but let's just wait and see what the judge decides next month in Leeds, and then see if we need to take it to another level. Fingers crossed we'll get the judgment that we seek. And if we get that judgment, well then fair enough. The Trust will have to look at their plans again. We argue that it's an irrational decision by the Trust to press ahead with the decisions that they've made and basically lift children's A&E and give it away to Sunderland, because that's what they'll do, and also put people's lives at risk, because that's what they'll do as well, where 167,000 people and children in South Tyneside are going to have an extended journey up to Sunderland. I've yet to be convinced or to see any meaningful plans of provision, and I guess the Trust, having gone ahead with what they consider to be their consultation, have not really come out with anything firm, cast iron, and said what they're going to give back. It's non-negotiable. It's not even the case that they can give us anything back in recompense for taking the key core and essential services away. So here we are on day 100 and nothing else is advanced. We've had a very long wait to be given a day, to be told that we can go, as it were, either down to Leeds, or hopefully we can swing it for Newcastle for a maximum of 3 days. We might not even need 3 days in order to make our appeal and say we think the plans are ill-advised. And we might win, we might not win. If we don't win, we'll carry on the campaign anyway, to highlight to the public, the reality rubbing, as I call it, of just what you're about to lose and how fraught and problematic it's going to be to try and get up to Sunderland in an emergency, certainly, and the wear and tear on people in their weariness of going to work, or, in advance of going up for other services in Sunderland. And the worry is as well, there might not be the uptake. People might just say, well, I'm not going to bother. And there is evidence already of other people not attending other services that have been moved to Sunderland and not even going up for outpatient appointments. That's a worry. That's dangerous. And I will say again, as far as the Trust is concerned, they've played fast and loose with people's fears, language and things in their booklets about, a tidal wave of pressure, a tsunami of financial issues. I have no doubt that it looks like a bit of a dire landscape, as languaged by Mr. Bremner, the Chief Executive. But hey, what goes around comes around. At the same time as he's using this inflammatory language, I think it's within rules for me to say, I think people's lives will be put at risk. I think there'll be heartbreak. And not to have any new crystal clear-cut strategy yet for next year or next September, if they do come to padlock our A&E departments to start with. No space for expansion, no building plans, no adaptation at Sunderland. Nothing at all can recompense for losing the heart out of our hospital. And I will say that there are certain people, and I spoke to Angela Rayner last week, and she certainly, as the Shadow Education Secretary, is committed with the National Labour Party to renationalise the NHS. And so at what cost, we don't know. But it will come. Nothing lasts forever. I don't care how, off-beam this government think they are, that they can do what they like and get away with impunity and not be held into account eventually with regards to what they're doing to our NHS and the damage that they'll cause and the upset that they're going to cause into the bargain. We're seeing the cracks appear now anyway, aren't we? health, education, law and order, transport, food banks. You know, this isn't to be alarmist. This is a fact that what we're seeing now is the breakdown of law and order, certainly in London, with regards to stabbing, and another one today. That is dreadful. And suddenly a knee-jerk reaction. 100 extra police on the streets. Sadiq Khan, the commissioners in London, the emergency services need something down there on a much more grounded, concrete basis. And then back up in Tyne and Wear, and within South Tyneside in particular, we now see, you know, the awful situation that the Fire Brigades Union are going to face if suddenly at weekends, Hebburn and Wallsend, fire stations have to go on kind of part-time working and close over the weekend. It's an insufferable position to be in. But we have to stay strong. We have to campaign together on all fronts for all services and say enough is enough. We're staying within the law, but we're being very directive in saying, you know, enough is enough. Spread the word. Watch what we do about the hospital campaign. Watch what we do about South Shields School to support the parents and pupils there of those that want to stay, and hopefully fight to get the changes that are required. And certainly Angela Rayner last week signed a petition, and she seems to be backing the parents in the school. And we will also support the Fire Brigades Union and the police, everybody now into the next year. I think we'll see mass action, peaceful, within the law, but protesters allowed as a demonstration to say enough's enough. And people have really had enough, and they're worried about the property, about safety on the streets, about fire responses, about local services. We know we've got massive cuts from central government. Nobody's blaming the council for that. But what we need to do is we need to unite together in South Tyneside and say enough's enough. Have a lovely Thursday.